Welcome to Lesson 10 of Unit 2, Introducing Graphs of Proportional Relationships. Starting today with our warm-up, we're going to plot these points that are here, 0, 10, 1, 8, 2, 6, 3, 4, and 4, 2. And then you're going to answer this question, what do you notice about this graph? So pause the video and take 3 minutes to do that now. All right, welcome back. So let's check and see how you did. Let's start with plotting the points. So we have 0, 10, 0, up to 10. We have 1, and we're going up to 8. We have 2, 6. We have 3, 4, and 4, 2. So what did you notice about this graph? So yeah, one thing you could have noticed is how it goes in a straight line. So if you connect the dots, it'll be a straight line. What else do you notice? Yeah, it looks like a proportional relationship. Okay, let's turn the page over to 142. And we're looking at activity 10.2, t-shirts for sale. So some t-shirts cost $8. Use the table to answer these questions. So if the t-shirts cost $8, which one of these do we think is going to represent the t-shirts? Is it going to be our X column or our Y column? Yeah, it's going to be our Y column because these are going up by 8. So this represents the price of the t-shirts. So yeah, this represents cost of t-shirts. So then X must represent the number of t-shirts. Do we think there's a proportional relationship between X and Y? Yeah. So as this goes up 1, this side's going up 8. So as this goes up 1, this side's going up 8. So the number of t-shirts depends on the cost. So in this case, X is proportional to Y. Because 8 is our constant of proportionality. And we know this because every shirt you buy is going to cost $8. So if we were to write an equation for this, we would have our t-shirts. So the number of t-shirts purchased would be equal to 8x. or the total cost, sorry. The total cost would be equal to 8x. All right, let's move on down to number 2. It says plot the pairs on the table on the coordinate plane. So I'm going to get a different colored pen because it looks like it bled through a little bit. So we're going to plot these points that we have up here. So we have 1, 8. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So these are going up by 2s. So let's plot our points. So 1 is 8. 2 is 16. 2, 4, 6. 3 is 24. 4 is 32. 5 is 40. And 6 is 48. So we plotted our points. It's this pink row of points. What do we notice about the graph? What do you notice? Yeah, again, in this case, these are lining up in a straight line. So if we connected these, it would be a continuous arrow going up. All right, let's turn to page 143. So your teacher will give you papers showing tables and graphs. They'll look very similar to this. These are also going to be in Google Classroom for you to access. So you're going to examine the graphs closely. What is the same and what is different about the graphs? Number 2, you're going to sort the graphs into categories of your choosing. Label each category and be prepared to explain why you sorted the graphs the way you did. Number 3, you're going to take turns with a partner to match a table with a graph. For each match you make, explain to your partner how you know it is a match. For each match your partner finds, listen carefully to their explanation. If you disagree, work to reach an agreement. And then I'm going to give you a few minutes to go ahead and look at all of those graphs. So pause the video and take about 10 minutes to complete those first 3 questions. All right, so let's look at number 1. So we're going to look at 1 and H, or I'm sorry, letter H. And we notice here that these can kind of be connected in a straight line, as well as these dots can be connected in a straight line. All right, so number 2 asked you to sort your graphs into categories of your choosing and be prepared to explain why you sorted the graphs the way you did. There are quite a few different ways you could have done this. You could have sorted it into proportional and non-proportional, straight, not straight. So I'm just going to put what you could have put for the categories. So proportional and non-proportional. All right, and then you had to find your matches. So here I'm going to give you which ones were matches. So 1H was a match, 2B was a match, 3G is a match, 4D is a match, 5A is a match, 6E, 7F, 8I, 9C, and 10J. And we're just going to look at a couple of these to explain why they are a match. So let's start off with 2B. So 2B here, we have a graph here, and then we have our table. So if we look at 1 and we have 8, we go 1, 8. So this point matches up here, 2, 16, 2, 16. Those 2 points match up. Let's check a later one. What about 5 to 40? So if we look at 5, 40, that is a match. So these two are a match because they relate to each other. All of these points are on this graph. Let's look at another one. Let's look at 1H. So 1H, we have 110. So here, 0.110. 215, 0.215. 325. So we go to 3, it popped up to 25. 4, 30. 5, 40. 6, 45. So all of these points are again on this graph. So that's what you should have been looking for when you were matching these up together. Number 4 says to trade places with another group. How are their categories the same or different from your group's categories, and how are they different? So this is a question that can have different types of answers depending on who you trade your cards with. All right, number 5, return to your original place. Discuss any changes you may wish to make to your categories based on what the other group did. And did you notice, are there any, or which of the relationships are proportional? So take a moment and think about that. Which ones are proportional? Right, so our proportional relationships, so the proportional relationships are two B, 4D, 7F, 8I, and 9C. So if we just grab a couple of these here, let's see which ones I've got. So 8I. So this is proportional because it goes up in a straight line, and this is going up at a constant rate. What is our constant rate that this is going up by? What are we increasing up by each time it moves up? Yeah, that's right. So each time it's adding 1.6. So our equation for this one would be y equals 1.6x. All right, let's look at number 7. What have you noticed about the graphs of proportional relationships, and do you think this will hold true for all graphs of proportional relationships? So yeah, all points on a graph of a proportional relationship line up in a line. All right, that is the end of lesson 10. Please complete your homework on pages 145 and 146, and I'll see you next time for lesson 11.